I read it relatively recently, and I'm now realizing the parallels. Can you tell us a bit about how Victoria became so left leaning?
It's always been because, and this is something that's written about a lot by the Canberra Press Gallery and so on, and the major broadsheet newspapers. Victoria used to be the jewel of the Liberal crown under Menzies and so on. Now it's not. Well, that was a very long time ago. Where did we start becoming so left-wing? I mean, even the Liberal Party in Victoria, even the heroes like Jeff Kennett, who did a phenomenal job. I mean, anybody who wants to understand what, sadly, I'm roundly disappointed with Liberal governments almost everywhere these days on a regular basis. Everybody wants to see what the Liberal Party can do at its absolute best when it has the courage and more importantly, it doesn't apologize for its values and doesn't try to play catch up when it at its best, the Liberal Party in the Kennett government. But even Kennett was a moderate, so to speak, on social issues. Then you got into the Brax-Brumby years with people like Ted Bowyer being the leader. He was a lefty, Red Ted, we used to call him. He won for better or worse. And it's been a state where we just don't have the regional outer suburban conservative heartland that places, say, like Sydney, New South Wales and Queensland do. That said, it's changing. And it's changing over this. I think this lockdown in Victoria will create two things. It will firstly create, sadly, an underclass of people who've lost everything, who've lost their businesses, who've lost their jobs, who've lost their incomes, who've lost their homes. They will be angry, and they will know how important freedom is in a way that typically, have you ever spoken to somebody from Eastern Europe about this stuff or about freedom generally? Eastern Europeans are typically the most conservative, wonderful people you'll ever meet because they know what it's like to live under communist dictatorships. So I think we'll have sadly, a working class, sadly not working class of people who will be angry and understand the importance of freedom. And that will be a lot of people because a lot of people have been damaged by this. But secondly, we will have, and your generation in particular, or even Generation Alpha who are coming in now, there will be a generation of kids who will either be hypochondriacs and germophobes and agoraphobics, or they will be scarred by this but hardened by this. These are kids who have had to endure classrooms over Zoom and all other sorts of stupid things. They will know what they missed out on, and they will know what's been done to them. And I think they will be the generation, hopefully your generation, Gen Z, that will rise up and the more they get into the economy, they graduate from university, they have purchasing power, the more that corporations start marketing to them who don't give a shit about wokeness because they know there are real problems in the world. The balance of power will shift away from whiny millennials of my cohort, these hypochondriacs who were already in the workforce when this hit and loved sitting at home and on Zoom with their jammies all day and, were afraid of this bloody virus they weren't really at risk of dying from in a statistical sense. I think there will be a turning. I think that some good will come out of this. And this goes way beyond the question, but I think we'll see the slow collapse of the nation state as we know it, as we progress in blockchain technology and things become decentralized. I think this has been the last stand for the oppressive, bureaucratic, managerial, industrial complex that's nestled in the nation state as we know it. There will be a paradigm shift that, for all the pain of this, something good is coming from it.